Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm really excited because I have the new L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation that everyone's been talking about. Everyone loves the Pro Matte, which I love that foundation, one of my favorite drugstore foundations. So I think when the Pro Glow came out, they were like all of us makeup junkies like freaked out and wanted to get their hands on it. If you are in Canada, I actually have seen it at some Walmarts earlier than the release date, so check your local Walmart. I do have two other shades. I have shade 205, 206, and 207, so I did swatch them in this video as well, but I am wearing 205 and it matches me pretty good. It's a teensy bit light, but I'm liking it. It's pretty good. So if you guys are interested in checking out kind of my initial first impressions and then my thoughts on this foundation, then make sure to keep on watching. Okay, so let's get started. I'm really excited. I have been dying to try these since the second I saw it kind of go, I guess, mini viral on social media. Everyone was like, oh my god, they're making the Pro Glow. So I've been dying to try this, but of course, us Canadian girls always get everything late, but luckily Allison Broad PR actually sent me over some shades, so thank you so much to them. So I have the shade 205, 206, and 207. I am going to quickly actually insert a little clip of these swatches just to kind of show you guys, because I know a lot of people are like freaking out just because these shades are actually very different than the Pro Matte. As for the shades that I do have, I think I'm going to use 205 for today. It's actually the closest to my skin tone from what I can tell. I do think that the shade 208 would actually be a better match for me, but we're going to work with what we got today. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. Now a lot of you guys know that they have the Pro Matte, but this is the Pro Glow. So this is obviously targeted for more normal to dry skin. This is a radiant finish, hydrating normal to dry skin foundation, and it says here that it has SPF 15, which I actually like. If I end up liking this foundation, which for some reason I don't have like super high hopes for it, I don't know why, but I just don't know if I'm gonna love it. So if I do end up loving it, I think that'll be a great summer foundation. And this is how the packaging looks, very similar to the Pro Matte. It's just this one is not a matte finish. Like the packaging isn't matte. It's kind of just, you know, the regular packaging. So we're gonna go ahead and test it out. We're gonna use the e.l.f. Mineral Face Primer. I would always use a primer regardless, so I'm still gonna try it out with a primer. I'm just gonna use a good old regular smoothing primer. I don't wanna use anything too glowy or too matte or anything like that, because I don't want to alter the foundation too much. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop this on. So from what I can tell, this foundation seems super runny. Like it's very liquidy, and I could first tell that even without putting the product on my face, just because in the packaging it's very like runny, watery. I can hear it move around. So I don't know how much of this to pop on. I'm curious to see how full coverage this is. So this looks like it might actually be a pretty good match. So to blend out the foundation, I'm going to take a beauty blender. Whenever I'm using like super liquidy foundations, I love a beauty blender, especially for glowy foundations. Blends out really easily, which I like, because I hate a makeup product, no matter what it is, that doesn't blend easy, because it's like I don't want to sit there for 5 hours blending. So I like that this is blending pretty easily. It's got pretty good coverage, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually expecting it to have way less coverage for some reason. I just kind of, I guess, assumed that. This color is actually really perfect for me. I thought that I would need 208, but it looks like 205 is good. It's a really nice neutral warm. It's not extremely warm where it's like so yellow, but it's a nice, you know, neutral to warm type of shade. I actually really am loving this so far. The coverage is so good. Like, I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it's covered a good amount. And I have like a lot of redness, and this has covered it. Wow, I really do love that a lot. And the finish is really nice, at least on my oily skin. It is a nice, like, natural dewy. It's not super dewy to the point where I'm like, oh my god, I look like a greasy fried chicken piece. No, it's like a nice, you know, glow from within. A little bit of that dew right on the cheekbones there. I am curious to see how it would build up if I wanted to put a tad bit more on. So I'm just gonna pop like teensy bit more on, and let's blend that out. See if it's buildable, because some foundations really don't build nicely. Typically, I like a foundation that when you build it, it just seeps right into, like the layers don't even look like they're layers and they melt into each other, and this isn't really doing that. I wouldn't say that you're able to build much with, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm like trying to work super fast because I feel like if you want, like, you're able to customize your coverage in a way, whereas I would say just put more on initially, but don't do what I did and put some on and then put more on again, because it's kind of not really, like 2 layers on top of each other is not blending well. It is looking a little like layery, a little cakey, but I feel like you don't even really need to build much because the initial coverage of this is so good. Like, this is really good, and I'm kind of hard to please when it comes to coverage because I like my full coverage, like you guys know me. So I just realized I actually forgot to read some of the claims of this, so let's actually do that. I did say to you guys that it was a radiant finish, which I do think that it definitely gives you a radiant finish, but I don't think it's like too glowy though. I feel like if you had dry skin, this would be not glowy enough, not dewy enough that maybe you would crave. I don't know what that craving would be like because I don't have dry skin, but I'm just kind of, you know, guessing. But for my oily skin, I feel like if I were to go for a hydrating glowy primer, then, or sorry, foundation, then this is what I would go for because it's not overly dewy, you know, it's not like KFC greasy fried chicken dewy. It's like a nice, you know, nice dewy. So I like that about it. But again, if you have dry skin, this might not be dewy enough. But on the contrary, if you had dry skin and you, for some reason, like you, whatever, you don't like dewy foundations, this might be a nice natural matte on you maybe. Because I've heard a couple people with dry skin say that this wasn't dewy enough and it was more of a natural finish on them, which you might actually like. And again, the SPF 15, I never take flash photos, so I'm not too worried about flashback, but I like the fact that it has SPF. I'm actually going to be out in the sun today, so I'm happy about that. So it also says that it wears up to 24 hours. I'm really curious about that claim. Now, a lot of you guys know with my first impressions videos, I typically will leave a blurb update down below where I tell you guys how it lasted at the end of the day. So make sure to check the description box. I will leave a little blurb and kind of update you guys on how it lasted. It says the coverage is medium. Surprisingly enough, I wouldn't really agree with that. I would say it's more medium to full, closer to the full side. So I wouldn't say it's pretty much medium. And it says the texture is air light. It definitely is light. Yeah, like it doesn't feel heavy or anything, but I would say it's like a light to medium heaviness. It's not super, super light. So now that it is on the face, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. I'm actually gonna be filming a drugstore tutorial, so I'm really excited about that. But I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup, see how this foundation works with other products. Blush, bronzer, highlight, setting powders, see how it works, and I will come back just to kind of update you guys on my thoughts and just to conclude how I feel about this foundation. So I just finished doing the rest of my makeup, and I gotta say, I'm actually really loving this foundation. I think it's really nice. Even if you have oily skin, I think you could definitely wear this for more of a radiant look. If you don't always want to go for the matte, you can make it work. It definitely is looking more matte on me right now because I did set it with powder, as I do with all my foundations, just because, again, I have super oily skin. But if I wanted to wear this foundation and keep the radiantness, I would just use a setting spray instead of a setting powder. But I mean, of course, because I do have oily skin, it wouldn't last for that long. But well, maybe it will, who knows, right? But I'm just kind of thinking, I mean, if you don't set with powder, if you have oily skin, you're kind of screwed in terms of how long it's gonna last. But we'll see how long this lasts. Like I said, I will leave a blurb update down below letting you guys know. I'm also going outside today, so I'm gonna be in the sun, and it's super hot in Toronto right now. So I'm really excited to see how this holds up and how it looks, but I really love it. I love the coverage. I'm pleasantly surprised by this foundation. Like I said, for some reason, I just didn't really I didn't have high hopes. I love the Pro Matte, so I was like, Pro Glow, meh, maybe I'm not gonna love it so much, but I actually really like it a lot, and I'm really happy with it. The shade 205 matches me really nicely, and just for shade reference, I'm actually an NC37 in MAC and a Tawny in Estee Lauder Double Wear, and 205 works really nice. I still might get 208 just for my more tan days, but I do really love it. And the blush, concealer, highlight, bronzer, everything smoothed on perfectly. I honestly have no complaints. Surprisingly enough, I have nothing negative to say about it, except for the fact that when I did go to build it up, it didn't layer very nicely. It's one of those foundations where you gotta put on as much as you want. You better put it on within the first layer, because you can't do 2 layers. At least with me, I noticed it literally looked as if it had a second layer. Like, you know what I mean? It didn't blend into each other, so that's something that would be a negative, but that's not a huge deal to me because like I said, you can just put as much as you want within the first layer. So I really love this foundation. I am pleasantly surprised. I'm happy about it. I definitely think no matter what your skin type is, you will enjoy this. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more of these first impressions videos, last week I did the Too Faced Born This Way and so many of you guys loved it. I used to do these a long time ago all the time, so I kind of want to get back into them. So like, thumbs up this video if you want more first impressions, more review videos, and I will definitely do them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. Mwah.